charge of focus. Top Grandmasters here. We have to look at the game. They are finished already.
Or maybe they make it clear to us that they are ready to explain their game,
Yes.
Simon.
I thought that game would actually go on for a bit. I thought it was more interesting than it looked like. People suggested here that it was a complete draw in the
No, it wasn't
one
a
ending.
draw.
No.
Basically,
Yeah. Well,
you need to
let's
come and tell us.
Yes. Well,
I'm
Peter's.
a little bit surprised you're here already, actually.
Well, it's
Well,
not.
here it's no longer a surprise.
It's not
Yeah.
that far, but well, that's Peter Svidler and Veselin Topalov.
Yeah, you have to come.
They finished their game. It's ended in a draw, and they are here. So we invite them to come forward. You have another chair there. So welcome Peter Svidler, welcome Veselin Topalov. Are we going? Yeah, we're going just back to the start of the game.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this tournament is seeing a bit of a revival of Bishop B5 check, but A6 Bishop D3, you know, with the obviously winning A6 Bishop D3, which Magnus showed against me, I wasn't allowed to continue in the same way. Knight F6 is well a slightly different move order. If Rook A1, maybe Rook E1, maybe then Black will play A6 and slightly different position arises. And after D4, well, Black has a variety of choices here. Obviously, G6 is possible. A6 is also a decent.
May I
move.
just ask you, did you play the same opening against Magnus many years ago in Svalbard? I thought so, but I couldn't remember.
Possibly, but neither can I. So it's no in Svalbard. No, it wasn't like this. No, in Svalbard it was some kind of Bishop B5 against Knight C6. And after A6 takes Bishop G5 E6. This looks kind of similar to the old Ivanchuk-Kasparov game from Linares, no? But maybe Kasparov,
he just took the pawn.
I think Kasparov played H6, I think, and the structure looked like this. And Ivanchuk won a fantastic game, which I remember was very instructive at the time. But I mean, I can't remember anything apart from the game exists. I can't remember any details, but I was kind of aiming for this structure.
May I just say a couple of words? That okay, it looked like nothing was happening, but the difference is that now, on move 4, this is the new trend.
Yeah.
And you know, when Caruana did it the first time against me and also Magnus, I thought, okay, but then why White should lose tempi when they can immediately play Bishop D3, and why should they allow to, you know, to develop the knight on D7? And but then, okay, the thing is that, for example, here, for example, Knight F6, then if Rook, there are also games with Rook here, and it's a different story. Yes, that
That's too far.
The bishop can go here, but then it's
it's
like
slightly different. B5,
B6,
or B6 or B5, something like that. Yeah.
and then it's I'm not sure if the bishop is so well placed because I think there are some games like this, and Knight C3, E6, but then I don't think the bishop is well placed. It's like typical position, but this is the unusual setup, and then
No, but I was aiming for something slightly different today. And
so okay, yeah.
I mean, Rook E1 is obviously a very valid option here, but I want
also G6 is a possibility. There are many different options, and okay, here now the difference is compared to other positions that if White puts the knight, then of course I want to play this what Magnus did.
This
is
probably,
typical. Yes. So first
White there's huge theory
first White starts with the bishop, then now E5 is not good, so E6, and now it is possible to play Knight C3.
Yeah, of course, but I had a slight hallucination here. I thought that my plan actually creates some threats in the center, and in fact I'm just nowhere near close enough by tempi. So maybe I should play something like C4, Knight C3, or Knight C3 straight away. I don't know. My idea was to go Knight G2 and in this position to play either Knight C4 immediately or Rook FD1, but it leads to the same. Let's say Rook FD1, Bishop B7, and I was planning to play Knight C4, and for some reason I thought this creates a threat of Knight takes D6, which it doesn't.
But tell me, if I go E5, can you take? I was just wondering.
Here?
Yes. How do you play?
I was, I thought I should probably
take and Queen B8?
I don't know.
I was not sure it's happened. Something is happening here.
Well, neither am I, but...
you have one check and then it's not clear what else.
It's true, it's true. I mean, I was just... but I don't actually probably have... Do I have to take?
Well, but then I take on e4.
With something, yeah. It's true. I mean, I can play something like
Yeah,
e3
take.
maybe. Take with...
With the knight. And then knight takes e5. Well, but this is just a pawn for nothing, no?
yeah.
I think that...
Yeah, knight e5, bishop g5 seems like
knight
you're fine.
e5, bishop g5.
Yeah, more than 5, there's bishop f2 in the end. It's probably also the wrong rook, but I basically, at this point, I couldn't decide which rook to put on d1, and I was dreaming of some positions in which black stops knight c4 by playing b5, and then I will go
I was
a4.
actually even thinking to play immediately e5, just
Yeah.
not to give an option.
But then I think
then,
that after-
then
yeah, queen
there is
g3.
a possible. Then a threat is of course that white takes.
Yeah, I will
on
start. I
f6.
will start by taking on f6 next move, and then I will
So-
play knight c4, knight a5 in some positions.
Oh, okay, maybe b5, but it's too.
Yeah,
too
but
open,
that
yeah.
that kind
It's
of
not
was
the way it should be.
what I was hoping for, kind. Yeah,
The
but
knight f4.
my biggest problem was that after bishop e7, I realized that if I go knight c4, and black just castles. I mean, e5 is possible, but if you just castle, basically,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I have equality here because
Well, knight d6, queen d6.
queen d6.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the problem. Queen d6, queen d6,
No,
bishop
maybe
e6.
first you should take.
But it
well,
doesn't change very much. It's still the same position.
like this.
Yeah, bishop b8, and
No, even if I take and take on e4, it's
but then
totally okay.
knight e1, and at least I'm not worse. Here I'm not sure I'm not worse. This was my problem because black just takes on e4
No,
next move.
still, of course, you.
Well, I'm kind of
exchange-
slightly worse. I mean, I thought. You
Yeah,
know.
a
A little bit. I mean, it should be a draw, but it's not fun. So I'm more or less forced to play e5 here, and this has to be completely equal, of course. I mean, I
Yeah,
mean, some
kind of
precision maybe is required
played
from
rook
black.
d5, which is okay.
Rook d5 is fine.
Expecting knight c4, bishop b5, and trying to.
Yeah, no, but there I think it might become slightly awkward for me. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, if I put the knight here,
I keep the bishops.
yeah, a lot of pieces start hanging, and you know.
And I
it's,
simply want to take the piece immediately.
yeah, I was considering something like bishop f6, gf6, a4 here, but first of all, it's a pawn sacrifice, which
Well,
is
just
already.
pawn for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's no knight c4. I knew was wrong, so I figured after knight f3 at least I'm not worse.
So basically, I should start exchanging. I cannot keep my two bishops, and that was what I tried. But in fact, I completely started to miss one move after the other. That okay, rook d1, it's okay, and now just take on f3 immediately. Also, totally.
Yeah, no, but I think it's it's just equal. Almost,
Also, bishop. The way I played
whatever
it's
you do.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, bishop e4, rook d4 is. I mean, I considered knight d2, but after bishop f5, I don't see any useful moves for me. Because h6 is a huge threat now.
Yeah, if I keep the bishop, it could be.
Yeah, no, I
very
thought
good
something
back.
like knight c4, and I was kind of excited for a bit, but then I realized that after knight d5, I run out of squares. And now, I mean, once the pieces start
And then
getting...
f6 next.
Yeah, if you start driving the pieces back, I will be slightly worse, I think. So I think rook d4 is forced, and now
And
bishop,
now, okay,
bishop
I
f3.
have to take. Yeah.
Yeah, knight f3, knight d5 I think is fine. And after c4, bishop takes g5 is just an immediate draw, I think.
Yeah, but I somehow lost the feeling of a danger. And
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to take on d5 because knight g5, knight b4. I mean, I don't see why I'm the one pretending who's better. I mean,
no, it's just
knight
an
comes
equal
back to
position.
c6, I mean, and so cd5, bishop f6, rook b4, b5, takes, a4, king d7, b5, rook b8, and draw is not really very far away.
Yeah.
So this was what I expected, and then I got a gift which I immediately returned. Knight b4, and here basically by force we get this pawn
Well, I
endgame.
don't know. Tell me, is it losing if I go king f6, f4,
Well, maybe
It
not,
is
but
dangerous,
but
of
I mean
course.
it's incredibly
knight
dangerous.
c6, rook d7, take,
Yeah.
take. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about this position. Rook f7, I guess.
Yeah,
And now
maybe it's not losing.
it's
Yeah, maybe you have a
like
very active king.
b5 or rook d8. And
Yeah,
which is
something like that. But okay, I
Go-
mean,
yeah,
suddenly I actually have real winning chances, which 2 moves ago it wasn't
didn't exist.
really wasn't on the cards. Yeah. So in the end, Veselin went for this pawn endgame, which basically I made it into a draw in one move. But I basically I tricked myself. I thought my initial thought when I got to this endgame in my calculations, and I thought I must play before here. And then basically it doesn't matter what happens next. I must start with before. And then I thought, what happens if black plays e5? I play, for instance, something like king f1. Black plays f5.
Yeah, that was the
King
position.
e2, and black plays now c5. King comes to d3, and in some version black plays king c7. And basically what I want to put on the board is a position like this, like a5, b5, and now black plays g6.
Yeah,
And this is a draw, because the most I can get is I play g4, then black does nothing, I take on f5, and the king comes to h4, you play h6.
but with the pawn on f2, is it a draw?
I think it's still a draw, why not?
But because you'd go to with the king to h4,
Yeah.
and then king h5 is a threat.
Ah, yeah, with the pawn.
So this is the question.
Yeah, this is but how do I get it with the pawn on f2?
Just
Yeah, I don't know, but basically, for some reason, I thought it's very important to prevent black from playing e5, and it was just a complete blackout for 30 seconds. Because of course you must start with b4. I'm not claiming this position is winning. Maybe it's not, but regardless of how it's evaluated, you must start with b4 and then see what happens. And I just had it's not even that I missed the idea of you playing c5 and a5, because I calculated it with the pawns on e5 and a5. I knew this existed, but as I said, I just had a total blackout for a second, and the game immediately finished. I've no idea. I suspect this is a difficult endgame for me.
Yeah, I didn't really like it, but you know, I thought that okay, shouldn't be lost. But of course, it's very difficult to
Very difficult to
evaluate.
assess, yeah. And actually, I mean, pawn endgames are perhaps the most difficult endgames there are, because it's very difficult to analyze all the permutations. And basically, as usual, I should have just trusted my instinct, because in a Blitz game, the pawn would be on before the moment you took on c6. And here, for some reason, I decided to think and improve.
Yeah, I can
on
do
it.
the same. I can play c5, a5, but
c5,
then it's
I
different.
should probably play king, something like king
Yes.
f1, yeah, a5,
and it's
b5.
close. And now it's a big
Yeah, but
question.
how do you keep the pawns on the king side? This is the big question.
Yeah, there are many plans. You can even provoke the move a4, and yeah, and then it's if I stay with f6, then you go with the king.
Yeah, I mean, if I get if I start some kind of harassment on the king side, and I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to judge precisely what's going on here. But my feeling was that, you know,
Yeah,
this
of
gave
course,
me
it's not
a
fun.
real chance, and perhaps this is a draw, but maybe not. And it's kind of regrettable to throw this, you know, half a chance, which admittedly wasn't there. As I said, after 95, the position is completely equal, but having been given this half a chance to throw it away in one move is regrettable.
But again, I mean, if I just stay, let's say here, you
King
just
king
come
e2.
here. Let's say I put the pawn here. So every time you put a4, it's a draw.
Yeah,
So
I understand. King e4.
Here, and I guess you play like this.
Yeah.
So now, if I'm suspect h5, g5 is check. Yeah.
a5, I think I can take on h5, no? We just
Oh
discussed
yes,
this. With the
yeah.
pawn on
But
f2, I can
okay,
just-
okay. I just kind of wait,
Yeah.
and you also wait. Yeah, it's a question.
No, but in some position like this, yeah, with the king on d6, you're okay, but I'm giving you a tempo now by playing
And
something,
if I yeah, but then
I mean, what's your next move if I play...
I just go here. Okay.
No, yeah, let's say I play f3. f3 is a bad move.
Or
so
maybe
let's-
a4.
Yeah, okay, let's just play a4, and what do you do?
I move the king.
And now I go... no, f4 is still a
F4
draw.
and,
Is it?
I think because I think
Is it? Probably is, yeah, because if I go f4, you go king d6.
yeah, and maybe I have a
and
choice to take like this.
Take, and you're in time to... Are you?
h4
Yeah, h4.
and
Oh, this is probably lost now. Yeah?
Why is it lost? If I just move the king to d7 or c7?
Well, d7 king d5 just wins on the spot.
Yes, king c7.
Now I can take.
Then you take and you just take.
And I take on c5.
Yeah.
So you have to play king c7.
But that's the same, no?
Then I can play h5 and take on c5.
Yeah.
No, as I said, I mean, this is going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah. Good chances.
So f4. Yeah, this is quite possibly just winning. I mean, I'm not sure you have to go for this position, but.
No, of course, I can stay with the pawn on c6 also, of course.
Yeah.
But it's quite.
But there are
because then the pawn can go to a5, and
Yeah.
many times you have also these b5 ideas.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's really difficult ending.
Yeah, I mean, f4 should just
And it's even more
disqualify me
difficult.
from
It's
the
even
keyboard race.
more difficult to calculate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of difficult to understand what went through my head there, because as I said, my initial idea was, of course, to start with b4 and then start thinking.
Or you can also play king f1.
Or king f1. I mean, any move. Just don't put the pawn on f4. But then I somehow I thought I must prevent black from gaining the space, because I saw this one fortress with the pawns on e5 and f5, and I got scared, which is just ridiculous, right?
No, it is possible, but only with the pawn on f3. But with the pawn on f2,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
white has a plan.
I should just keep it on f2 forever, you know, as long as I mean, yeah, difficult to judge why I did that, frankly.
Well, it may be the overdose of oxygen that we get here. That's what Seaman has been complaining about. There's so much fresh air here that it may play tricks on you.
It's a bit different, of course, to the usual setup.
So, what do you think of this, Peter and Veselin? I mean, playing on a flower island, something entirely different from what you're probably used to.
Well, I mean, it's wonderful and the view is spectacular, but as chess players, I mean, I don't want to, you know, I'm not using this as any kind of an excuse. It's not what I'm talking about, but we're very, very stuck to our routines, and you know, when you play at a certain setting at a certain time, you know, for a while, and then you have to play somewhere else. It presents challenges, let's put it like this, but. It still doesn't explain why you would just do what I did.
Yeah, and well, let's say it is different because we're moving to other venues at this tournament, but at the same time it's something you know in advance. Is it something you can prepare for?
I'm not sure how, frankly. It's well, as I said, I mean, it hasn't particularly thrown me off as such. It's but on the other hand, it's very difficult to prepare for this. I mean. It's just not something you generally encounter as a chess player, you know, all the and particularly switches as drastic as this, you know, and a sort of a boat ride before the game, which presents its own set of questions. You know.
Well, you might say that, let's say the daily routines that you have, you might start them slightly earlier. Or
This is what I did today, yeah. But still, I mean, but once again, I want to stop before I really start sounding like I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. No. This is spectacular. And if I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot because of some internal reasons, not because of I was taken to a fantastic place. You know.
Well, but it's interesting what, let's say, a slight breach of routine does to a chess player, or can do to a chess player. Of course, on the other hand, you might say, well, this is okay. This is the schedule for this tournament, so deal with it.
Oh, yes, I mean, really, this shouldn't be an issue, and wasn't in my case.
No. How's that for you, Veselin? Do you easily adapt to such things? That you say, well, okay, that's tomorrow. We're playing somewhere else. We leave the hotel a bit earlier.
In general, yes, but
yeah.
Okay, it's not really.
It's not something that bothers.
Well, many times it happens in the last rounds that we start earlier, so nobody really likes it. But to play, you know, to change. But okay, if it's within 1 or 2 hours, well, you kind of deal with it.
Because that's a common phenomenon. Last rounds that start early. I think that's much more drastic than what happened today, isn't it?
Yeah, and we will have that experience in a couple of days.
Yeah, already looking forward to that.
Yeah, different venue and 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
So yes, the tournament finishes with an extra challenge. So
I have a question because we don't often see pawn endings on this level. I just suggested a couple of days ago that the strong tacticians are very good at endings. Is it possible to play on pawn endings on intuition, or do you simply have to calculate a lot?
I think it's both. You have to have some grounding in pawn endings. You have to have a certain grasp of ideas, but also yeah, I think the best endgame players of, let's say, this generation at least have been. I mean, the one name that comes to everyone's mind is Shirov.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned too, actually.
Yeah, and
I think you did.
Yeah, and I think that for one of the reasons, and I mean, he has a very good understanding of endings as well, but also I think he is just capable of very long, very precise calculations, and this obviously helps. But also you need to kind of remember your basics, and as I said, I mean, the idea of building a fortress like that was at the forefront of my mind, and yet I still played f4, which is I mean, it's just beyond belief, frankly.
Yeah. That's what you blame yourself for today, that you didn't wait for your intuition to tell you.
I second guessed what my head was telling me, which is the biggest crime. If it tells you you must start with before, you just play before and then you continue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for explaining the game. Or Simon, do you have an additional question? Or
well, my only question is that I have to comment on the other games here. So it would be nice if you could assist me and just assess the other positions, but you don't have to.
Vish is completely winning. Karyakin is, I guess, much better, as is, I expect, Van Hao. And the all-Norwegian game is very balanced, I think. So.
Okay, that came quick.
Thank you.
So.
Okay, that means I can go home, or?
Can you give him your mobile number?
Phone a friend kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's well, I think from these assessments that you gave, I think we should quickly go to those games, because Anand certainly looks totally winning.
Yeah, that game is about to finish.
Yeah, so before they turn up here, we should maybe have a look at the games.
They will probably soon be here.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
But this game really is about to finish. Yeah, the whole queen side will collapse in a second.
So, well, thank you very much. And if you run into Visyanand or Taimur Rajabov, tell them where we are.
Okay.
And thanks again, Peter Svidler and Veselin Topalov, for showing your game. So.